Hi, hello. So I'm having like quite possibly some of the worst self-doubt I've ever had in my entire life. It's not even imposter syndrome anymore. It is like I believe that I am just the smallest person in the world. And I need to talk about it to interrupt this thought process. So self-doubt is defined as a lack of confidence in oneself and one's abilities, right? And the only reason that you have self doubt is because you have a negative self image of yourself. The only reason that you doubt yourself is because you don't think that you are powerful. And that's really the truth that I'm not allowing myself to see. I doubt myself because I refuse to view myself as powerful. And what we view ourselves as really does become our reality. Because think of a person that you hate. How do you treat them? I'm guessing you probably don't talk to them. You don't buy them gifts. You don't wish them happy birthday. You don't check in on them and their family. You just generally leave them alone. Like you just don't want them in your life if you hate a person or you dislike a person. You just don't want them near you. But the problem is that when you hate yourself, you just constantly run from yourself. So today, I spent the entire day crying because I'm like, oh God, I'm never going to be able to reach my goals. Oh God, I don't deserve this YouTube channel. I don't deserve anything good. Like just sobbing because I'm like, I need to throw my whole life away and try again. Hi, hello, editing Bailey here. I like fully believed that I needed to go off and be a surgeon. I needed to go off and be like an airplane mechanic, like I wanted to. I fully thought that I was going down the wrong path with psychology. And then I wanted to quit my job at the restaurant. I wanted to stop talking to everyone I knew. I was like, oh God, you shouldn't be a runner. You should be a swimmer. Like I was freaking the fuck out. Actually freaking the fuck out and being like, oh God, I think I did a wrong thing. I think I did a wrong thing. Like I'd committed a murder or something. Like, girl, calm the fuck down. Like I need to go in a completely different direction. And this happens when you jump off the cliff. And the cliff, at least how I define it, is whenever you're working towards something, you take a leap of faith. A leap of faith is where you leap off a cliff of who you used to be, onto the other cliff, who you are becoming. And between these two cliffs is a giant chasm, a giant canyon. And you are taking that leap of faith. And when you're in the air between the two selves, between who you were and who you are becoming, you're going to ask a lot of what ifs. What if I fall? What if I fly? What if I can do this? What if I can't? Oh God, why did I do this? What if I can't do this? There's a lot of questions that are going to be running in your mind because it's just your fear of the unknown, your fear of change. And all human beings are scared of change because it comes with newness. Newness? That's probably not a word, but that's okay. New situations, new things you have to overcome, new things that you have to change and become. For me, I think that I've somehow made the wrong decision. And that's something that I is in me. Like I always think that I make the wrong decision. Eventually, no matter what decision I make, even if it's the best decision in the world, I will still at some point believe it's the wrong decision. And I'm having that right now where I'm like, make the wrong decision by becoming a psychologist. Oh my God, did I make the wrong decision by becoming a runner? Oh my God. Like I'm freaking out. That's to be expected. To be expected because you're changing. I mean, the butterfly is probably a little bit anxious when it goes into its chrysalis because it doesn't know how it's going to come out. Very confused and scared about the process as well, the same way that human beings are scared as well when we're making decisions and we're changing and we're growing. And there was this moment where I have this really, really fun, unique opportunity to get to work at the hospital, volunteering in the psych department at the hospital that I hope to one day work at. And when I was on the phone with the lady in charge, she was saying, why do you want to be a psychologist? Like, why do you want to volunteer here? All this. And I said, oh, well, I wanted to be a surgeon, but then I was diagnosed with Ehlers-Danlos. So I want to still be in the scientific field, in the medical field, but behind the scenes so that I know that my body can handle it. And it made me think, oh God, what if I could be a surgeon? What if I did go down the wrong path? What if Ehlers-Danlos isn't going to affect me and I can be a surgeon? And I'm like, Bailey, we've been over this. You can't be a surgeon. That's not something you can do. And I felt like I had to gentle parent my brain the whole day because it could not find my power. It couldn't find it. It was like, Bailey, you were the weakest person ever and you've never accomplished anything and you've never done anything good in your life. And I'm like, hey, girl, hold up, okay? We used to be living with our father with $500 to our name, and we've built ourselves up into a runner and a studying psychologist. Nothing. We've built ourselves up into that. And that's not nothing. Each and every one of us has inherent power. Each and every one of us can move mountains if we want to, but I think we forget that we're among a species that thrived in the era of saber-toothed tigers and mammoths. Humans are survivors. Humans are overcomers. Self-doubt is nothing but a societally made thing. I bet the cavemen didn't doubt themselves. I bet survival was just a daily thing for them. And whenever you're doubting yourself, it's just because you don't believe that you have power. It's that you think life is too scary, or that change is too scary, or that everything's out of your control, or you don't believe that you can do it. It's like this imposter syndrome in me where I feel incompetent despite having a life full of evidence that I'm not, a life full of evidence that I am successful and I can do this. It eats at me, because even when I have accomplished things, there's still been people who are like, "Oh, you didn't accomplish it in a short enough time. You didn't accomplish it well enough. You could have done better. You could have done this. You could have done that. You could have done this." So even all of my successes were still met with adversity somehow. So it's just trained me like a dog to be like, "Oh, even when you do succeed, Bailey, you've still failed somehow." And I don't know. I also did this very, very horrible deep dive into research on Ehlers-Danlos and BPD. And I was like, "Bailey, why do you think you can do this when you're already born so weak? Why do you think you can do this if you are such a weak motherfucker?" And then I stood up, looked that thought dead in the eyes, and said, "You don't know who the fuck you're dealing with. I have moved boulders the size of mountains. I eat adversity for breakfast. I've looked fear in the face and laughed. I met death for brunch, sat down and had a stack of chocolate chip pancakes and didn't give a fuck." And I thought of every single horrible moment in my life, and then I thought, hey, you're still standing despite that. So even if you want to doubt yourself, you have like a life full of evidence that proves you are not who you think you are. And every single time, I need you to remember this: who you think you are and who you actually are two very different things. You are not who you think you are. The same way that you can imagine scary creatures in the dark, and you can imagine ghosts and think of horrible situations that could happen, but that's only in your imagination. The same way that who you think you are, how horrible you think you are, how awful you think you are, how stupid and weak you think you are, is nothing but a thought that is mulling around in your head. It's nothing but imagination. Who you actually are is found within your life. Who you actually are is the actions that you've done even when you weren't thinking about them. Who you are is not who you think you are. And I just have to remind myself that over and over and over, because I think of myself as so little, so weak, so stupid, when I'm a part of the species that thrived against saber-toothed fucking tigers. It's in my genetics to be a survivor. It's in my bones to carry on. And I don't know if that's a crazy way of thinking, but I'm powerful beyond the depths of my mind. If I can come from nothing and grow to who I am today, then that is evidence enough that I am strong enough to keep going down a path that I believe is impossible. And even if I don't feel it, even if I can't see it, even if I can't understand it, I am powerful and I am confident. And I just got to keep walking the path. And self-doubt is a part of the path. It's just a bump in the road. So call me Rocky, because it's about to get bumpy.